Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. So, I know it's a bit different. I'm streaming during the day for a little while instead of, streaming at late night. So I guess without further ado, we can just get into it. Wonder how y'all's day's going. So, let's need to do something real quick. There we go. I'm gonna make myself just a tiny bit larger. Put me on the... oh, maybe that's a little bit too large. Maybe we go right about that. Alright. So, what do we got? Player's Handbook Playtest number 7. I skipped a few because I wanted to take a break from D&D, kinda, and also I kept getting let down, and there's all these controversies. There's a more recent one which I didn't even cover, where they got busted using AI art in Bigby's guide, or the Bigby one, which I was really excited for as a book because I love Giants and Dragons, and I had Fizzband, so I was like, let's get Bigby's because it would be like a counterpart. But didn't end up buying it because of both money price and AI art. So I guess let's get into it. What's included? New and revised elements. So 5 classes: Barbarian, Fighter, Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. I did cover what they changed with the Warlock, and I think I covered a few of these actually. Each of these classes include multiple subclasses, 2 of which are entirely new: the Path of the World Tree Barbarian and the Brawler in the Fighter class. New are revised spells, not new spells, and weapon revisions, along with feats and a revised version of the ability score improvement of feat and the rules glossary. Okay, power level might be more or less powerful option to play it for 2014. If design survives playtesting, we adjust the power to several level before publication. And feedback. Okay, Barbarian, strength. We don't need to read all the fluff, probably. Sign updates. Danger set has returned to level 2. It now works even if you're blinded or deafened. Okay. Reckless attack now grants advantage to your strength-based attack rolls until the start of next turn, which means an opportunity attack can benefit, as can subclass feature like retaliation. Okay, cool. Primal Knowledge has moved to level 3 from 2, matching the level of Primal Knowledge in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Alright. Instinctive Palace has imported from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Brutal Critical returns to level 9, and it now deals 1d12 extra damage on a crit. This damage increases at higher levels. Relentless Rage has returned to level 11, Persistent Rage returns to level 15, and the Unconscious condition, not incapacitated, shuts off your rage. In addition, the feature incorporates the function of Rage Resurgence, regain a rage on initiative. Indomitable Might returns to level 18, and it now applies to strength saving throws and strength checks. Primal Champion returns to level 20, and once again increases the scores by 4. So it seems like they made a lot of changes and everyone was like, no, so they just put everything back. So 1d12 per level, 12 plus your constitution level 1, and then hit points level, so 1d12 or 7, seems normal. Saving throws, strength con, yep, choose 2, that seems normal. Armor training, still get your armor, your weapons, gold. Multi-classing seems the same. Okay. Actually, in this case, let me reach over real quick, and all of a sudden my frames are down. I don't know if that's been a thing or not. Oh, they returned. Okay, so let me go to the Barbarian class in 2014. We love it. Okay. So rages up until 3rd level. It's 2. Yeah, that's correct. Rage damage stays at 2. Oh, they changed the rate at which the rage damage is leveled off. So in the 2014s, at oh wait, never mind. I was looking at low rages, so it doesn't change until 9th level. Also doesn't change until 5th level. Weapon mastery, of course, is a new thing. And then we have rage, unarmored defense, and weapon mastery. Rage, unarmored defense. We don't have weapon mastery because it's not a thing. Then reckless attack and danger sense. Then subclass and primal knowledge. So that got moved. Ability score improvement. 5 extra attack, fast movement. Same path or subclass feature. So they're just calling it a subclass. It's not path like they used to for barbarian, which is okay. I mean, take it or leave it. Feral Instinct got moved to 7 along with Instinctive Pounce. Feral Instinct was alone before. Ability score improvement, Brutal Critical 1d12, Brutal Critical 1 die. So I think Brutal Critical used to just add a die of your weapon damage to it. I'm not sure on that. 10th is pass feature, so same. 11th, Relentless Rage, yeah. 12th, ability score. 13th, Brutal Critical again. So now to 2d12 instead of 2 die. 14th, Path feature, subclass feature, then Persistent Rage, then ability score, then Brutal Critical again, then Indomitable Might, ability score improvement, and Primal Champion. Okay, so subclass feature, you can insert bonus action Rage, resistance to piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning. When you make an attack with weapon using strength or non-weapon, you deal damage to the target. You gain a bonus damage that increases as you gain barbarian levels. Seems the same so far. You have advantage on strength rolls. Yeah. No concentration on spells. Yeah. End your next turn unless you do damage, take damage. Wait. If you don heavy armor or incapacitated, if your rage is still active on your next turn, take damage. Make an attack roll against an enemy. So I think before it, you had to hit. Haven't attacked. No. Attacked or taken damage. Force enemy to make a saving throw. Take a bonus action to extend. So you can extend it, but you don't. So no longer you. Yeah, so no longer does it continue if you take damage. Only if you deal damage. Or you make an attack. Or you can use a bonus action to extend it, but you use a rage. Okay, then unarmored defense, 10 plus dex plus con. Yeah. You can use a shield, still gain a benefit. Yep. Weapon mastery allows you to use the mastery property of 2 kinds of simple or martial melee weapons of your choice, such as great axes and hand axes. Okay. When you finish a long rest, you can change it. That looks like. You can danger sense. Advantage on dexterity saving throws provided you don't have the incapacitated. Looking, that's about the same. And you get your subclass. Cool. Primal knowledge, that was not in this one. I do believe this got moved over from Tasha's. So it's a added benefit. Proficiency when on one other skill. Tristan listed from barbarians at level 1. In addition, while your rage is active, you can channel primal powers to make attempting certain tasks. Whenever you have an ability check using one of the following skills, you can make it as a strength check, even if it normally uses a different ability. So acrobatics, intimidation, perception, stealth, or survival. When he uses this ability, your strength represents primal power coursing through you and hunting your agility and senses. So, okay. I mean, I can't wait to just, like, be raging and, like, mad out of my mind. My eyeballs bulging with muscles to see how far away, or see something in the distance or close by. Just eyes bulging out with veins running across them. And then stealth, like just anyone who sees you just sees you so roided out that it's like, okay, well, we didn't see anything. Survival, like, sure, I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, but why not? What? Like, okay, I understand the goal. It's just goofy, you know? And it's really goofy. Ability score improvement and extra attack. Fast movement, additional 10 feet. Yeah, same. Feral Instinct, Sohon, they give advantage on initiative rolls. And additionally, if you're surprised at the beginning of contact and aren't incapacity, you can act normally on your first turn, but only if you enter a rage before doing anything else. So they kind of nerfed that. You no longer get that, but instead you get Instinctive Pounce. As part of your bonus action, you can enter your rage. You take to enter your rage, you can move half your speed. Which, I mean, is worse. It's worse than the second part of Feral Instinct, because, I mean, to be fair, DMs don't... Actually, that's a lie. The thing is, with being surprised, is they get a whole turn to do whatever they want for a while, and if they do that, then what's stopping them from just absolutely tearing into you know? So with this, I mean, it would have been better to keep it, but also, if they needed a nerf, that was a good way to nerf it. Just get rid of that. Brutal critical. So when you use a weapon that, or critical hit with a weapon that uses strength or an armor strike, target takes an extra 1d12 of the same type dealt by the weapon or unarmed strike. Increases by 1d12 at 13 and 17th level. This is a change because it used to be weapon damage die, so it increases the weapon damage die by 1. Level 11, Relentless Rage, can keep raging despite being at 0 HP. You have to make a DC con saving throw. If you succeed, instead change to a number equal, or your hit points change to a number equal to twice your barbarian level. Each time you use this feature after the first increases by 5 with the DC. You finish a short rest or a long rest, the DC resets to 10. So this one... wait. Relentless Rage. If you drop to 0 HP while you're raging, DC 10 con. So they actually buffed this feature. You actually heal more instead. So it used to be you just return to 1 HP, but now, like, if you're at this level 11, you regain 22 instead. So, pretty big buff. Or, yeah, fairly sized buff. But also if you're... Because you gotta remember, as a barbarian, when you're raging, especially depending on your subclass, you're probably... That more or less doubles the amount of health. So... Or the amount of health you have. So instead of getting... like 22 HP, you're more or less getting 44 because you're getting resistance to most every attack, or at least the main attacks. Then we got level 15, Persistent Rage. If you roll initiative and have no uses of rage, you regain 1 expended use. Additionally, your rage is so fierce that it now lasts for 10 minutes without you needing to do anything to extend it from round to round. The rage ends early if you have the unconscious condition or don heavy armor. That it ends... So it used to be beginning of rage is so fierce that it ends early only if you fall unconscious or if you choose to. So this was overall a buff because it lets you rage for longer. You don't have to do anything to extend it. but I mean that was already part of it. And then if you don heavy armor or unconscious. Indomitable Might. So your total for your strength check or strength saving throw is less than your strength score. You can use the score in place of a total. Was that? Yeah, that's the same. More like wait. Total for strength checks less than strength. You can use the score. Yeah. So. Oh, actually, they buffed it. So instead of it used to just be strength check, now it's strength saving throw as well. And I mean, at level 18, you're probably gonna have a 20 in strength, if not something more. And then level 20, Primal Champion. So your strength and constitution scores increase by 4, and their maximum is now 24. So, yeah, they're still exceeding pretty much every saving throw, probably, when it comes to strength. Or check, honestly. And then subclasses, yippee! So we're moving on to Path of Berserker. How long have we been streaming? Only 18 minutes? Sweet! Okay, side note, here's main updates. Intimidating Presence is now a bonus action rather than an action. So, since its last playtest version, I forget what its last one was. Frenzy. You go into a Frenzy. If you use Reckless Attack while your rage is active, you deal extra damage to the first target you hit on your turn with a strength-based attack. To determine the extra damage, roll a number of d6s equal to your rage damage bonus and add them. The damage has the same type as the weapon or unarmed strike used in the attack. So that is a change. Before, it basically gave you an extra attack for the duration of your range as a bonus action at the end of on each of the turns. When your rage ends, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion. You no longer suffer a level of exhaustion for doing this, which is pretty cool, pretty huge. This makes Berserker already way more playable, and that extra damage is going to be nice. Yeah, first target you hit on your turn. So, I mean, yeah, I mean that's still pretty good, because when you get this at level 3, your rage damage dice is 2, so you basically get an extra 2d6 damage for the first thing you hit, and usually you're sitting there and you're hitting one thing. You're not like splitting up your attacks a lot of the time, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Mindless range, you have immunity, charm, and frightened conditions while your rage is active. If you're charmed or frightened when you enter your rage, the condition ends on you. Let me look at that. Charmed can prevent raging. If you're charmed or frightened when you enter rage, the effect is suspended for the duration of rage. So it's suspended normally, or like it used to be suspended, and now it is ended. You have immunity, and then if you enter your rage while you have those going on, the condition ends. Yeah, so instead of being suspended, it now ends. Which again is a buff, but also, you know, it's kind of like, could be better, you know? Oh, okay. I got really confused for a sec. And it looks like they switched around Retaliation and Intimidating Presence. So we're gonna pop over to Retaliation. So Retaliation, when you take damage from a creature that is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to make 1 melee attack against the creature using a weapon or an unarmed strike. This is changed slightly so that instead of just being a weapon attack, you can use your unarmed strike. And then Intimidating Presence. As a bonus action, you can strike terror into others with your menacing presence as you swell with primal power. When you do so, each creature within your of your choice within 30 feet of you, or 60 feet if your rage is active, must make a wisdom saving throw. DC equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength, provided the creature isn't behind total cover. On a failed, they have frightened condition for 1 minute. At the end of each of their frightened creature's turns, the creature repeats the saving throw, ending the effect on itself after a successful save. You can't use it until you finish a long rest. You can also expend a use of your rage, choosing to activate intimidating presence instead of rage. That's cool. Also, Prominence Champion no longer gives you unlimited rages. I just realized that because I was thinking about like, oh, at 20th level you have unlimited, so... But no longer. Which I think is... kinda dumb, in my opinion. Like, I understand why, but also... it's kinda stupid, in my opinion. Path of Wild Heart. So I'm guessing this is their change over to from Totem. Yeah, it looks like it. Main updates: Path of Wild Heart, formerly called Path of Totem. Yeah, I think they changed it in Baldur's Gate too, as well. Animal Speaker, formerly called Spirit Seeker, now has spellcasting ability specified. Has its spellcasting ability specified. Rage of Winds, formerly called Totem Spirit, contains revisions to each option. Bear no longer grants resistance to all but one damage type. The former design was too powerful. It now allows you to gain resistance to 2 damage types of your choice. Okay. Eagle lets you take both the dash and disengage action when you activate your rage, and as a bonus action, the range of Wolf increases to 10 feet. Formerly called Aspects Beast, contains revisions to each option. Elephant, formerly Bear, now grants proficiency in Athletics or Insight skill, granting expertise if you already have proficiency. Owl, formerly Eagle, now grants proficiency in Investigation Perception skill, granting expertise if you already have proficiency. Spider, formerly Wolf, now grants proficiency in Stealth or Survival, granting expertise if you already have it. Nature Speaker, formerly called Spirit Walker, now has spellcasting ability specified. Power of the Wilds, formerly called Telematic Attunement, contains revisions to each option. Lion for Bear is no longer stopped by immunity to frightening condition. Falcon, formerly Eagle, now allows a persistent fly speed while your rage is active, provided you aren't wearing any armor. Ram, formerly Wolf, no longer is your bonus action to require a saving throw. Oh boy. So, 3rd level, you have Spirit Seeker, which gives you the ability to cast Beast Sense and Speak with Animals spells, but only as rituals. And now Wisdom is your spellcasting modifier for that. Which, do they need those? I don't believe so. Rage of Wilds, your rage taps in the primal force of animals. Bear, when you activate, you can choose 2 damage types other than force or psychic to have resistance to until the end of your rage. So, I understand what they mean by it being so powerful, but with Totem Barbarian, it's not the only thing you can grab. And sure, it's a go-to because it's good, but especially if you don't nerf a bunch of the other subclasses for Barbarian, this might get left in the dust, kinda. That being said, I have taken Totem Barbarian and gone with Wolf instead. So, yeah. I don't know how I feel about them changing this up. I mean, I can understand why, but they seem to have a theme, and then they kind of go off the theme. Like, bear, elephant, and then lion. Can you not think of like a more tanky animal? Because like the first one all seems tank based, right? So you got bear, extra resistance. Elephant, gain proficiency in athletics, insight. Okay, well that one's not great. And then Power of the Wilds, rage, is active. Any of your enemies within 5 feet of you have disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you. or another barbarian with this feature. So, yeah, that's this, or at least lion and bear seem like they're trying to be a tank option, right? I kind of think they could have made this elephant here, and that would have been funny, and it would be like the elephant in the room, you know? Are we gonna ignore the elephant in the room? And it's like, well, we can't. I think that would have been funny, but I'm not on the design team. The middle one, they're obviously bird focused, right? And then the last one, it goes from wolf to spider to ram. What do any of those have in common? I think they should have had a theme for the 3 options and kept it through. Because I can see bear, I can see elephant being like, oh, big tanky creatures. And then lion, I don't think tanky when I think of a lion. I think scary, sure. Bear's scary. I don't think elephants are scary. But, I mean, I guess kind of whatever. I guess I'm nitpicking probably. But we got bear, 2 resistances, eagle, bonus action, you can disengage and dash. Which I do believe... Actually, these... Oh wait, I was looking at the wrong part. Yeah, that's about the same. Wolf, we got... Oh no, it actually changed. It's within 10 feet of you instead of 5 feet, so you don't have to get as close. That's cool. Aspects of the Wild is level 6. So before this was bear, eagle, wolf, because you gotta just kind of compound, and then you could go back and choose one. Now you can only choose the next one. Yeah, you can choose the same animal you selected at 3rd level, or choose another one. Now you can choose one of the following options of your choice, whether you gain a barbarian. Whenever you gain a barbarian level, you can change your choice. So now you're locked into these 3, and then here you're going to be locked into these 3. Whereas before, what you could do is you could go, okay, well, wolf, let's go back to here. Oh, like, let's get bear. Okay, cool. And then let's get wolf. Okay, cool. And then we could grab something else. Like, we could grab eagle, or we could grab something later on. That obviously got changed. Which I kind of dislike. I think what they could have done is they could have moved bear to a higher level. Sure, they could have moved it all the way up to 14. I don't think they should have gotten rid of the all damage, because when it comes down to it, the all damage resistance except for psychic, I understand all the complaints about, we can't kill it. It's still going to be a problem, because you still get your 3 resistance, slashing, piercing, bludgeoning, and then you're in an area where it's like, okay, this is a decrepit old swamp. What tends to be in swamp? Black dragons. Cool, we might fight a black dragon. Acid. What else in swamp? Poisons. Cool, poison. And that's a lot of swamp creatures damage on top of the already having resistances. So what they're doing here is they're kind of making it like, oh, it should be easier for you to kill him now, or deal damage to him, when if the player's paying attention and you... Because this is... Oh, okay. So this is even worse. So it's only when the rage begins that you choose it. So by the time you're in the fight, especially if you're going last and you see this thing go bam damage, bam damage, bam damage, it's like, okay, well, it's doing these types of damage. Let me rage, choose those types of damage. It's still going to be the same problem. It's just you're trying to make it seem like you nerfed it, which you did, but it's not that big of a deal, especially on one-on-one fights, like how boss fights tend to go. Spellcasters, sure, going to be more of a problem, but I mean, they've been boosting spellcasters constantly, and then trickle-feeding marshals, at least from what I have seen from the last ones, and I skipped the last 2, I think. I'm glad wolf didn't change. I like wolf, eagle didn't change. It's fine. Elephant gain proficiency in athletics, insight. Also, they nerfed bear more by getting rid of. Oh wait, never mind. Elephant, you gain proficiency in athletics, insight. You already have proficiency. So this just gives you skills and then expertise. Before, bear, you increased your carrying capacity. You doubled it, and you have advantage on strength checks to push, pull, lift, or break objects. No longer do you have that. Eagle, which got changed over to owl, you used to have. You could see up to 1 mile away with no difficulty. I mean, yeah, able to discern even fine details through looking at something no more than 100 feet away from you. Additionally, dim light doesn't impose disadvantage on your wisdom perception checks. Yeah, this doesn't even give you like dark vision or something when it's the eyes of an owl. So, and then wolf, okay, which got changed over to spider. You have the hunting sensibilities of wolf. You can track other creatures while traveling at a fast pace, and you can move stealthily while traveling at a normal pace. They changed it, and like maybe they didn't change it as much down here, but they took it away for giving you proficiency in skills or expertise in a skill, from having these really cool abilities that sure might not have gotten brought up all the time, but fit way better, or fit really well with the idea of being like a barbarian that's out in the wilds all the time. Because these are skills you'd want as a barbarian. And sure, that kind of like made it like, okay, well, I'm not going to choose these as often. But I mean, you're just going to choose elephant here because you're strength based. You're not going to choose investigation or perception. I mean, you can use your rage for it now, so maybe you will. And maybe you'll choose stealth or survival. But I think I would have preferred the old way of having barbarian, personally. And that's coming from someone who's played exactly one barbarian. And they weren't... No, they were. I mean, I made plenty of barbarians, but I think I only played it once. And I forget which subclass I chose. I think I might have chosen... What did I choose? I forget who I chose. It might have been this one. It might have been Totem. Moving on, I guess. Nature Speaker. You can cast Commune with Nature. Wisdom is your spellcasting modifier. Used to be Spirit Walker. They got rid of the flavor here, where it used to be like what the spirit that came forward was one of the totems that you chose, or one of the aspect of beasts thing that chose to like convey the message to you. Now it's just the normal spell, or like you could flavor it like that, of course, but yeah. Whenever you gain a barbarian level, change your choice, blah blah blah. Lion. While your rage is active, any of your enemies have disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you or another barbarian with this feature. Kind of the same, except for it used to be an enemy is immune to this effect if they can't see or hear you, or if it can't be frightened. So no major change there. Falcon used to be eagle. While your rage is active, you have fly speed equal to you have a fly speed equal to your speed, provided you aren't wearing any armor. Eagle now, or I mean, that's how it is supposed to be now. While you're raging, you have fly speed equal to your current walking speed. This benefit works only on short bursts if you fall at the end of your turn. So instead of falling at the end of your turn, now you have a constant speed. Like you can just float there in the sky without falling. Wolf, now ram. While your rage is active, when you hit a large or small creature with a melee attack, it must succeed on a strength saving throw or be prone. While you're raging, bonus action, knock a large or smaller creature prone when you hit it with a melee attack. So it no longer is basically a free prone. It's now a save that they have to make, which I mean makes sense. I think they could have moved that down to Wolf. I mean, not to Wolf. I don't know. I think with this, how it changes now, I still think Bear or Wolf are the best for the first ones, and you can't choose a lower one, but definitely at the high tier, I think Ram. It depends on what the build you're going for. If you're going tank, I do Bear and Lion. If you're going for boosting your allies, I do Wolf. Like if you have fellow melee combatants, I do Wolf and Ram. But I can also see Wolf and Lion. If you're just trying to do something a little fun, like you're trying to dart around, I do Eagle and Falcon. But like, and the middle ones just don't matter because they'll matter for combat, and they honestly kind of don't matter for role playing either. I mean, you can role play them obviously, but I just like the idea of having specialized abilities that you can role play even easier. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Path of the World Tree, new one. So Yggdrasil, Rage links them to the Yggdrasil. Vitality of the Tree. When you activate Rage, you regain a number of hit points equal to your Barbarian level. At the start of each of your turns, while Rage is active, you can choose another creature within 10 feet of you to give temporary HP. To determine the number of temp HP, roll a number of d6s equal to your Rage damage bonus and add them together. If any of these temp HP remains when your range ends, they vanish. Okay. Here's some power creep. This is Circle of the Moon. No, not Circle of the Moon. This is Twilight Cleric levels of HP regeneration. I mean, it's not like as wide of a bonus, and you have to choose someone within 10 feet of you, but still, if you have another melee combatant, like who's your ally, giving them constant temp HP at the time you get this, a constant 2d6 temp HP, that's a lot of HP at that low level, and then that changes obviously at a higher level, but still, it's still pretty dang good. Branches of the tree. While your rage is active, whenever a creature you see ends its turn within 20 feet of you, you can use your reaction to summon the spectral branches of the world tree around it. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw, or be teleported to an unoccupied space you can see within 5 feet of yourself, or the nearest unoccupied space you can see. The target the space the target teleports must be on surface or liquid that can support it, otherwise it doesn't teleport. We'll clarify any creature can... So, this is also now becoming really good at control. Which... Let's see the rest. Battering roots, central of the world tree, extend from your melee weapons when you wield any melee weapon with your reach with that weapon increases by 10 feet, and then you can hit with when you hit with it, you can activate the push or topple property even if you're using another match rate property with that weapon. Interesting. Travel along tree. As an action, you touch a huge or larger tree or a teleportation circle to create a link through the world tree to a teleportation circle somewhere else in the same world or on another plane of existence. When you do so, you specify a target destination in general terms, such as City of Brass or on the elemental plane Fire, and you and up to 5 living creatures within 30 feet of you will teleport to that destination. The teleportation circle is too small to hold the creatures you transported. They will appear in an unoccupied space closest to the circle. Can't use this until you finish a long rest. If you run out, you can use Rage. This is a wonky subclass, but could be very, very solid in combat, right? the ability to dish out temp HP to allies within 10 feet of you, then to teleport a creature within 5 feet of yourself, then to be able to hit within 10 feet of yourself, along with the push or topple, because I kind of remember what those do. And I mean, you can tell. This class seems like battlefield control almost is the way it goes. You use your reaction. Yeah, so it's a reaction and a bonus action. Yeah, this is definitely battlefield like booster and control. So like imagine you have your fighter, he gets knocked away, or he's like fighting someone else, or he kills someone, and then he runs over and his turn within 20 feet. Then you grab him, teleport him over, bonus action, give him some temp HP, and now you're both on top of the boss. Or someone tries to run away, you run to catch up, your speed is close enough, and then you teleport him within 5 feet of you, but you teleport him behind him, or teleport them behind you, or yeah, teleport them behind you so that they have to run past or back towards your allies. And then just teleporting whenever, like, isn't that like a higher level spell? Okay. Yeah, I mean, pretty solid subclass, powerful subclass. I wouldn't say it was broken from my knowledge, but that's still really dang good. Path of the Zealot. Okay. Main updates. Divine Fury now allows you to determine damage type each time you deal damage. Warrior of the Gods now includes the ability to regain additional HP when healed by a spell or item. Zealous Presence now allows you to use it multiple times between long rests by expending uses of rage. And now you turn into a warrior spirit after you successfully use your relentless rage for Rage Beyond Death. Rage. What did Zealot used to do? Give me one sec. Now that we're getting out of the player's handbook, I gotta grab Xanathar's. So, Zealots. Oh, that's ancestral. Zealots. Okay, let us choose. Divine Fury. When you channel divine power to help your strikes, each turn while your rage is active, the first creature hit, it takes an extra 1d6 damage plus to your barbarian level, rounded down. The extra damage is necrotic or radiant, you choose. Yeah, that's more or less the same. You choose the damage when you gain the feature versus you choose when you go to deal the damage, which I mean is a buff. Slight buff, but buff anyways. Warrior of the Gods. Divine Entity helps ensure you can continue to fight. When a spell or magic item restores any of your HP, you can roll a d12 and regain additional hit points equal to the number rolled. You can use this benefit a number of times equal to your con modifier. In addition, spells such as Raise Dead have the sole effect of restoring it alive, but not on death. The caster doesn't need material components. What? They buffed this, but thought that Totem Bear was too powerful? Brother. Jeez Louise. So I thought they were going to get rid of it, and they were just going to make it so that you gain additional HP. Or you can regain additional HP, or whatever. No. You still can be resurrected for no cost, right? But now you additionally, like when you get healed, you can regain additional hit points. A d12 extra hit points. And you can use this basically 5 times. And then regain it on a long rest. This is still so powerful. I think this is them trying to be like, we don't want our people to die. Which, I mean, I say that, and then I'm like, well, why wouldn't they just give you Barbarian? But like I said, the Barbarian isn't that much of a nerf. Now it just makes it so that Barbarian players, when they rage and they choose the bear, they have to kind of use their brain. But even then, it's not really. When it comes to the rage damage. Not saying they don't use their brains beforehand, but, I mean, Barbarian is known to be the whack 'em with a stick. And don't stop whacking them with a stick until they stop moving kind of class. Let's move on. I think, if anything, this one deserved a nerf more than Bear. But, okay. Because it's like, let me not move on real quick. It's like, oh, we want you to have an easier time of killing them, but we don't want you to be able to keep them dead. Or we want you to be easily able to bring them back. Okay. Fanatical Focus. If you fail a saving throw while your rage is active, you can re-roll it, and you must use the new roll. You can use this once per active rage. That's the exact same. I don't think it... Yeah, it didn't even list a change. Zealous Presence. Bonus action, release a battle cry, infuse dump energy. Up to 10 other creatures of your choice within 60 feet of you gain advantage on attack rolls and saving throws until the start of your next turn. You use this feature, you can't use it until you finish a long rest. If you run out of this uses of this feature, you can expend one use of your rage to activate it instead of rage. Advantage on attack rolls and saving throws. Yeah. They kind of buffed it, making it so that you can use additional rages to activate it again, but that's the only major change. From what I can see. 60 feet, yeah. I think that's what was listed here. Rage Beyond Death. Relentless Rage restores your hit points. You can assume the form of a spectral warrior. While in this form, you gain falling benefits. Fly speed equal to your speed, and you can hover, move through creatures and objects as if it was difficult terrain. But you take 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside of it. When you hit by attack roll, you can use your action to turn that hit into a miss. Form lasts for 1 minute or until you regain any hit points or drop to 0 hit points. Once you use this feature, you can't do so long rest. They changed this because Relentless Rage got buffed. Because it used to be you could just catch raging even if you have 0 HP. It doesn't knock you unconscious. And you suffer the normal effects of taking damage while at 0 HP. However, you still die due to failing death saving throws. You don't die until your rage ends, and you die only when you have 0 HP. Only if you still have 0 HP by the time your rage ends. Not that big of a change. I think this is overall a buff for a very powerful class as is, or subclass as is. We've finally finished, and we've been streaming for about an hour. Yippee. So, next up, we have the fighter. Dexterity, strength, or dexterity. Oh boy. They get additional weapon masteries. I can see that immediately. Let me go over to the fighter. I think I passed it. Fighter comes forward. Okay. Fighter updates. Fighting style now lets you replace the feat you choose when you gain a fighter level. This is inspired by martial versatility. Okay. Second one down also restores one expended use. Restores one expended use on a short rest. Oh, okay. Weapon mastery now maxes out at 6 mastery options instead of 5. Action Surge now allows any action except magic action, and it once again improves at level 17. Tactical Mind at a new level 2 feature, which allows fighter to excel in or out of combat. Okay. I think most everything is the same when it comes to level ups and everything, because I would have changed it here or noted here. Second Wind uses has a list here, whereas before Second Wind wasn't a first level feature. Oh no, it was. Never mind, my bad. You didn't get multiple uses of it, and now you do. Interesting. I wonder if they buffed it or nerfed it. Oh, they have more. Fighter subclass and ability score improvement return to their 2014 levels. Tactical Shift. A new 5th level feature that allows you to move without perfecting opportunity attacks when you activate your second wind. Interesting. Master of Armaments replaces Weapons Expert and Weapon Adept at level 9. The new feature lets you change the mastery properties of all your mastery weapons. Okay. Indomitable once again confers more uses at higher levels. Good. Studied Attacks is now a new 13th level. They just gave him all the features, huh? 13th level feature that increases the likelihood you'll hit after you miss. Unconquerable has been cut in favor of Indomitable, improving at higher levels. 3 extra attacks returns to level 20. Did they get rid of the feats? The specialized feats that were supposed to be like the level 20 cap feats? And they must have gotten rid of that at some point. Must have been disliked. Seems normal so far. Yeah. Yeah. Fighting style. Gain a fighting style feat of your choice. Yay. Second Wind. 1d10 plus fighter level HP gain as a bonus action. You can use this feature twice. You regain 1 expended use when you finish a short rest, and regain all on a long rest. When you reach certain fighter levels, you gain more. As shown in the column, they added more uses, which is cool. That's kind of big change, it seems. Yeah. No action surge? Oh, never mind. I gotta move to level 2. Okay, and then weapon mastery. Training with weapons allows mastery properties of 3 kinds, full or martial weapons of your choice. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can practice weapon drills, change one of those weapons' choices. When you reach certain fighter levels, you gain the ability to use the mastery properties of more kinds of weapons. Shown in the mastery column of the fighter table. So, you can get more weapons. Action Surge. Push yourself. On your turn, you can take 1 additional action except magic action. Once you use this feature, short or long rest to recharge it. Starting at level 17, you can use it twice before rest, but only once on a turn. Yeah, it seems like it more or less stayed the same. Tactical Mind, the new one, or a new one. You have mind focus on tactics, getting the upper hand on and off the battlefield. When you fail an ability check, you can spend a use of your second wind to push yourself towards success. Rather than regaining hit points, you roll the d10 and add the number to the ability check, potentially turning it into a success. The check still fails, second wind wasn't expended. Oh, okay. I kind of like that, but also interesting. It seems kind of like it's a solid buff at level 2 to get like a bonus 1d10 to any roll, and if you succeed, it's expended, but if you don't, I mean, like, why not use it on something important? Or use it on something. There's no real cost besides not having one. But even then, take a short rest, you regain 1. Oops. Get your subclass. Ability score improvements, extra attack, and then you get your tactical shift. When you activate your second wind with a bonus action, you can take you can move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. Cool. Indomitable. 9th level. If you fail a saving throw, you can re-roll it with a bonus equal to your fighter level. If you do so, you must use the new rule and can't use the feature again until you finish a long rest. You can use the feature twice between long rests starting at 13 and 3 times at 17. You realize that they're it's got buffed. It got buffed majorly. It used to just be re-rolling it, but now it's you get a bonus equal to your fighter level. At this rate, I mean, at this level, it's a +9, right? So when you re-roll, I have to use the new roll, but you get a +9 to it as well. You're not failing. Because, okay, let's say you had a 0 for the skill, right? +0. You failed. Now you get a re-roll, especially if you roll a bad roll originally. +9. You could roll a 2, get an 11 at this level, right? And that's if you don't have any other bonuses. And like your normal one is like, let's say DC 15, right? A +9 means a 6 or higher without any additional bonuses, which you'll probably have, depending on the check, is a success automatically. But you're going to have a bonus. Let's say you don't have proficiency in a skill, even a +1, that immediately turns into a 5 and lower. It's automatic success. This is just massive buff. And like at higher levels, you're not going to fail. Like this, they're all these buffs, and like I've seen it, like we were talking about in the other class, they're just not going to fail. How many pages is this, and how long am I going to be? Oh boy, I'm only on page 11, and there are 54 pages. Okay, we kind of need to speed this up. We might continue it in like a stream tonight, though. Master of Armament. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can choose any of the mastery weapons you're using. Replace mastery property. Okay, these properties change apply only for you, not for others. Okay, makes sense. You get an additional extra attack at level 11, which I think is insane. So you get 3 attacks at level 11. 2 extra attacks, yeah, so still the same. Studied attacks, new feature. You gain, or you masterfully study your opponents and learn from each attack they make. If you make an attack roll against a creature and you miss, you have advantage on the next attack roll against that creature before the end of your next turn, which is not bad. It's actually pretty good. And then you get 3 attacks at level 20 once again, or 4 attacks at level 20 now. So subclass Battle Master. Okay, Student of War now gives you proficiency in a skill. Did it not? Oh, you used to get proficiency in Artisan's Tool. Know your enemy now allows you to know a creature's damage resistance, immunities, and vulnerabilities as a bonus action, instead of what? Oh, they're inferior to you. 2 of your options. I'm gonna have to read that when I see it. Relentless. Now, when you use maneuver once per turn, now allows you to use a maneuver once per turn without expending a superiority die, but that free maneuver still uses a D8, or uses a D8 and doesn't go up in power. Okay. Maneuvers, you get to choose from maneuvers. You gain additional 2. You only learn 1. You learn 3, and then you gain 2 additional at level 7, 10, and 15. Each time you learn a maneuver, you can replace 1. A superiority die, you start with 4, which are D8s. At level 7, you get 5 dice. and 15 you get 6. I thought the superiority die wouldn't go up. Oh, it does. Okay. Saving throws. Same. Student 4, proficiency in artisan tool of your choice and proficiency skill. That's why we read it, because the way it seems here is that it just adds 1, or like you just get to choose a proficiency skill now, but now it's actually adding. And from a skills available at fighters level 1, know your enemy. Bonus action, discern something about the creature within 30 feet of yourself. You know whether the creature has any immunities, resistance, or vulnerabilities, and the creature has any, you know what they are. Once you use this feature, you can't use it until you finish a long rest. You can also restore one use of this feature by spending a superiority die. Which, I mean, is another buff. You're going to find out how to kill these things so much easier. And it's no longer, are they better at me than this, that, or the other thing? It's like, okay, what are their immunities, the resistance, and their vulnerabilities? So, what makes it harder to kill, and what makes it easier to kill? Which is what a lot of people are going to use it for. I mean, know your enemy was cool because you could just talk to someone. Like you could be scouting out a place, and you could be like, okay, we can figure out their AC, their class levels, if any, their fighter levels, if any, their armor class, and their ability scores, which was cool. Oh, there's a fly in my room. Improved in combat supporting die, so at 10th level they're level 10. At 18th they become D12, so they just kind of split that. Relentless, level 15. When you roll initiative and have no superiority die, you regain 1. And this one, once per turn, when you use a maneuver, you can roll a d8 and use the number rolled instead of spending the superiority die. So this just gives you unlimited superiority die. Just like lowers their power. Battle Master's more insane than it ever was. It comes to D12, and then you get your maneuver options. Ambush is included, and bait and switch is included. Commander Strike no longer uses your bonus action. Commanding Presence was included. Disarming attack, distracting strike, goading attack, maneuvering, menacing, and precision now work with any type of attack roll. So ranged? Okay. Actually, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Evasive footwork, now lasts until the end of your next turn. Until the end of your turn, not when you stop moving. Lunging attack now lets you dash action as a bonus action, and adds the superiority die if you hit a creature after moving at least 10 feet in a straight line. Parry now allows you to add your strength or dexterity modifier to damage reduction. Now triggers from missing an attack roll, not before you know if the attack roll hit or not. Rally now uses your choice of intelligence, wisdom, or charisma when determining the amount of temporary hit points gained. And technical assessment from Tasha's. So overall, massive buff to the fighter for Battle Master. Jeez Louise. I mean, like, they're giving, I mean, we're gonna see eventually, either today or tomorrow, the changes they make with the spellcasters, but these are some big buffs for subclasses, at least for fighter, or for barbarian and fighter, except for slightly or nerfing the totem or whatever they're changing it to. I guess let's move over to Brawler. Focus on training. So fists. Unarmed expert. You can roll 1d8, 1d6 plus strength moderate in place of normal unarmed strike damage. Dungeon Master Guide will include items that enhance unarmed strengths and improve weapons. These items will support Monk, Brawler, Fighter, and College of Dance Bard, along with other characters who rely on unarmed strength and weapons. Cool. If you aren't holding any weapons or a shield, then you make attack roll. The d6 becomes a d8. Interesting. Real quick, I'm gonna go to the Be Back Soon screen because I am parched. My throat hurts. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Needed that. I still got some too. Okay. Where were we? Unarmed expert. Okay. Improvised expert. Proficient with improvised weapons. Whenever you finish a long rest, choose one weapon properly from one-handed list and one from the two-handed list. Oh, and you get to add these, it looks like. Okay. Grappling expert. You can make an unarmed strike as a bonus action. When you do, you must choose grapple or shove. In addition, at the start of each of your turns, you can deal 1d6 bludgeoning damage to one creature grappled by you. Dirty fighting. You have advantage on attack rolls made with improvised weapons and unarmed strikes against a creature grappled by you. You are a master at making ordinary deadly. When you hit a creature with an improvised weapon, you can add your proficiency bonus to damage roll, and the damage die of your two-handed improvised weapon becomes 1d12. In addition, whenever you attack with a improvised weapon, you can use 2 mastery properties from the improvised expert instead of 1. And then unarmed strikes become a d8. If you aren't holding weapons or a shield, then it becomes d10. I mean, it's kind of what you expect. I don't think it's necessarily anything special. At least to me, it seems like monks are probably still the better way to go. If you want to be that, but I mean, if you want to use a fighter to get your levels in and everything, yeah, sure. It seems exactly what I would expect, more or less. I would want a way to like kind of throw people around, maybe, but that's just me. Champion. I actually like the champion. I know it's uncommon take, possibly an L take, depending on who you talk to. Where is champion? There it is. Okay. Main changes. Remarkable Athlete replaces Adaptable Victor and moves to level 3. Now grants advantage on initiative rolls and strength athletics checks, in addition to increasing long jump distance. Heroic Warrior now gives you heroic advantage at the start of each of your turns in combat. Improved critical. Weapons and unarmed strikes can score 19 or 20. Yep. Remarkable athlete, now at level 3. Thanks to your athleticism, you have advantage on initiative rolls and strength athletic checks. In addition, you can make a running long jump. The distance you can cover is increased by a number of feet equal to your strength modifier. More or less the same, just moved down. Oh wait, no, never mind. It got nerfed. Before, you could add half your proficiency bonus rounded up to any strength, dexterity, or con check, or constitution check you make that doesn't already use your proficiency bonus, and then you could also get that bonus there. So, kind of got nerfed, but also got moved down, so... Level 7 fighting style, you get an additional fighting style of your choice. Move down from level 10 to level 7. Interesting. Sorry, I gotta drink that water in my throat. Okay. Okay. Superior... Wait, where's it? Heroic Warrior. During the thrill combat drives you towards victory. During combat, you can give yourself heroic advantage whenever you start your turn without it. I don't remember what heroic advantage does. I'm just guessing it's just advantage on attack rolls, or on certain things. But cool, free advantage whenever. Level 15, crit on an 18 to 20. And let's look at Survivor. You attain the pinnacle of resilience in battle, you gain these benefits. Defy death, you have advantage on death saving throws. Moreover, when you roll an 18 or 20 on a death save, you gain the benefit of rolling a 20 on a death save. Cool. And Heroic Rally, if you start your turn, at the start of your turn, you gain hit points equal to 5 plus your con modifier. If you have no more than half your hit points remaining. You don't gain this benefit if you have 0 HP. So... this is another buff, because you get the Defy Death on top of what you already had. Cool. I mean, again, this is another thing where it's like harder to... same amount of easy to kill, harder to stay dead, or keep dead. Eldritch Knight! I like the Eldritch Knight as well. Mainly because I am a spellcaster. I use glowing ball and everything. So let's look at our Magic Knight, our Eldritch Knight. Side note, spellcasting contains no School of Magic restrictions after level 3 in the subclass. Moreover, the fighter can now change one cantrip when gaining a level, and can use an Arcane Focus. Interesting. War Magic now allows you to replace one of your attacks with a casting cantrip, allowing the Eldritch Knight to weave magic into their attacks. Was that not already a thing? Improved War Magic now allows you to replace 2 of your attacks with casting a first or second level spell. Okay, cool. Spell table. More or less looks the same. Yeah. We're not gonna read all this. Probably. Intelligence, spellcasting ability stays the same. You can use Arcane Focus, spellcasting focus. I'm surprised it doesn't make it so that like your weapon can become a spellcasting focus. War Bond creates a magical bond between you and your weapon. Perform this over the course of 1 hour. Can be done during a short rest. Weapon must be within your reach. Touch weapon to forge a bond. When you bond yourself to a weapon, you can't be disarmed with the weapon unless you have the incapacitated edition. If it's on semi-place existence, you can use a bonus action to summon it, to teleport it into your hand. You can have 2 bonded weapons, but can only summon 1 at a time with your bonus action. If you attempt to bond with a third, you must break the bond with one of the other 2. Seems the same. War Magic. You can take the attack action on your turn, replace one of your attacks with casting Wizard Cantrip that has a casting time up in action. Ooh. Okay. So before, it was when you use your action to cast a cantrip, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action. Interesting. I think this is a buff for sure. Yeah. Eldritch Strike. You learn how to make your weapon strike, undercut a creature's ability to withstand your spells. When you hit a creature with an attack using a weapon, that creature has disadvantage on their next saving throw. It makes it makes against a spell you cast before the end of your next turn. Yeah, seems the same. Arcane Charge. You can use your action surge. You can teleport 30 feet to an occupied space. You can teleport before or after the additional action. Same, and then Improved War Magic is now you take the attack action on your turn. You place 2 of the attacks with casting one of your wizard spells that has a casting time of 1 action. Interesting. Because here it's saying that you have to replace 2 of your attacks with a spell casting level of 1 or 2, whereas this doesn't have any such restriction. And before it was you could cast a spell and then make 1 weapon attack. Still an overall buff, I think, but if it doesn't have this restriction, then it's a much bigger buff. Sorcerer! Played one in Baldur's Gate. I like the idea of making a sorcerer, just never got around to it. Let me look into sorcerer. Sorcerer updates. Innate sorcery empowers your spells, attack rolls, and DCs for a limited time. Spellcasting returns to using the sorcerer spell list rather than the arcane spell list. Sorcerer list now includes Sorcerer's Burst and Arcane Eruption, both of which appear in this document. But the magic no longer requires a bonus action to convert spell points into sorcery points. Cool. Or spell slots into sorcery points. Nice. Meta Magic gives you 2 options at level 2 and 2 more at levels 10 and 17 each, and you can now change one of your options whenever you gain a sorcerer level. Interesting. Sorcerer subclass returns to 2014 level progression for Sorcerer subclass, with the exception of the level 1 feature being at level 3. I still do not like them changing some subclasses from 1 to 3, and Sorcerer is one of them. Because you're born with magic, or you're given magic. Sometimes it's when you're a baby. A lot of times it's since you've been a child. Why would you choose the type of magic that you're randomly given or born with? You don't. So you just have that. Forever. Frames, come back to me. You're not like the magic ball. Okay. I don't understand it. I think it's stupid. I think it should stay a level 1. And they've already made it so that you can change your subclass given ways to change your subclass. So I don't understand why they're so against having it at level 1. Anyways, Source of Vitality is gone. Sorcerer's Restoration has moved from 15th to 5. Oh, that's a big drop. If you have no sorcery points when you roll initiative, the feature restores a certain number. Sorcery Incarnate has moved from level 9 to 7, and has been redesigned to enhance innate sorcery. And Arcane Apotheosis has been moved to level 20 and redesigned to enhance innate sorcery. Okay. Spell level progression more or less seems the same. I might be missing something. Cantrips, no sorcery points. Yeah, I'm just saying. Innate sorcery, an event, blah blah blah. Spell DC for your sorcery spells or sorcerer spells are increased by 1. You have advantage on attack rolls, sorcerer spells you cast. Sorcerer spells, I'm sorry. You can feature twice and regain all exciting uses when you finish the long rest. You can use this as a bonus action. I thought that was a baseline because I didn't fully read it and I got freaked out for a sec. I was about to say, are you kidding me? You know? But thank goodness. Again, instantly a buff. Level 1 feature was used to just be cantrips and such. And you got your origin. So now, twice a long rest, you can get advantage and everything for basically 1 comment. Oh, my dog has rolled her ball under my chair. Okay, so next, spellcasting for cantrips. As a playtest version of Sorcerer, please use a sorcery spell list in 2014's. The following spells added: Sorcerer's Burst cantrip, Arcane Eruption cantrip, or spell, level 4 spell. If you have Sand of Dark Guide for everything in Cautious Gold, you may use the Sorcerer spell stick too. My dog now demands we play fetch. Pair spells, yeah. Font of Magic. Sorcery points. Spell is the conversion the same. First equals 2. Minimum sorcery. Oh, there's minimum sorcery level. Sorcerer level. Oh no. Why? Because you wouldn't have access to these spells. Oh, I see why. I see why. You have to have they're trying to keep you from doing the warlock build, where you convert a bunch over. I see what they're trying to do. I mean, yeah, it's smart to keep that from happening, I guess. People like their builds, but that's gonna throw a little bit of a wrench in things. Because your magic flows, 2 magic options, gain 2 more at 10, and at 17. It's the same it used to be, except for now it's at level 3 instead of level 2. There's only 1 magic option on a spell when you cast it. Subclass, ability score improvement. Sorcerer's Restoration used to be a 20th level feature, which you would gain 4 expended sorcery points whenever you finish a short rest. Now, whenever you roll initiative or finish short rest, you have no sorcery points remaining. You gain a number of those equal to your sorcerer level divided by 5. Round down. So if you are at level 20, then it's 4. If you're at this level, you gain 1. At level 10, you gain 2, 3. 3 at level 15, you know? Interesting. They dropped it. It's cool to have. Yeah. All I gotta say. Really. Sorcery Incarnate. So when you use your innate sorcery feature is active, you can use up to 2 of your magical meta magic options on a spell you cast. In addition, if you have no uses of innate sorcery left, you can use it if you spend 2 sorcery points when you take a bonus action to activate. Oh boy. More buffs. And then level 20 Arcane Apotheosis, your innate sorcery feature is active. You can use 1 meta magic option on each of your turns without expending sorcery points on it. Okay, let's look at these before we talk about how much more powerful this sorcerer is, in my opinion. Now, Distance spell returns to doubling range. Don't know why they changed that. Signet spell now costs 1 point rather than 2. Okay. Subtle spell now clarifies that it doesn't remove material components, that it has a cost specified in this effective spell. And Twin Spell has some of its previous multi-target functionality, but now within appropriate limits. I don't know what that means. Oh my goodness, almost all of these cost 1 sorcery point. What was the cost before? I'm looking at a bunch of them. 3, 2, 1. 1 per level. 1. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness, this is much more powerful. I mean, sorcerers needed a bit of a buff, but still, I personally agree with a fellow D&D YouTuber named XP to level 3, where sorcerers should use the mana feature, where you have spell points, and then you can spend those points on spells. I think that's how sorcerers should work, and that should be complete. That makes it completely different than everybody else. Allowing to cast a bunch of big name spells and then not being able to cast any other spells. But that's my personal thing. So, careful spell. No spell. Force the creatures make a saving throw. You can protect some of the creatures around them. Expend 1 sorcery point and choose a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier. Yeah, same. Distance spell has a range of at least 5 feet. You can spend 1 sorcery point to double the spell's range. When you cast that spell has a range of touch, you can spend 1 sorcery point to make the range 30 feet instead. So returned it to normal, it looks like. Empowered spell. When you roll damage for a spell, you can spend 1 sorcery point to reroll a number of damage die equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1, and you must use the new rolls. You can use empowered spell even if you already have a different meta match option during the casting of the spell. Okay, empowered spell. It stays the same. Extended spell, duration of a minute longer. You can spend 1 sorcery point to double its duration to a maximum of 24 hours. If the effective spell requires concentration, you have advantage on the saving throw you make on any saving throw you make to maintain concentration. That's a buff. Yep, that is a buff. You didn't have advantage on concentration before. Heightened spell costs 2. Here's our first 2. Used to cost 3. Let's see how it works. When you cast a spell that forces a creature to make a saving throw to resist its effects, you can spend 2 sorcery points to give one target of the spell disadvantage on the saving throws against the spell. Used to be, yeah, it basically just used to be more expensive. So, fair size buff. Quicken spell. When you cast a spell that has a casting time of an action, you can spend 2 sorcery points to change the casting time to a bonus action. This costs 2. You can't modify a spell in any way if you've already cast a. You can't modify a spell in this way if you have already cast a spell of level 1 or higher on the current turn, nor can you cast a spell of any level 1 or higher on this turn after modifying the spell. So they just kind of explained it a bit more, but yeah, more or less the same. Seeking spell, if you make an attack roll for a spell and miss, you can spend 1 sorcery point to reroll the d20, and you must use the new roll. You can use Seeking spell even if you have already used a different meta match option during the casting spell. Seeking spell did not used to exist in the player's hand. Subtle spell. So I don't know what they meant by multi-target. Wait, no, that was twin spell. Never mind. Subtle spell. When you cast a spell, it's cost 1. You can spend 1 sorcery point to cast it without any verbal, somatic, or material components, except material components that are consumed by the spell or have a cost specified in the spell. Was kind of explained. It kind of nerfed it a bit, but not that much. Transmuted spell. When you cast a spell that deals damage type of the following list, you can spend 1 sorcery point to change to one of the others. So acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder. Change those up around. Also wasn't in the player's handbook, and I'm not going to get Tasha's out right now. Twin spell. When you cast a spell such as Charm Person or Hold Person, that can be cast with a higher level slot to target an additional creature, you can spend 1 sorcery point to increase the spell's effectiveness level by 1. Interesting. That changes from when you cast a spell that targets only 1 creature and doesn't have a range of self, you can spend a number of sorcery points equal to the spell's level to target a second creature in range with the same spell. To be eligible, a spell must be capable of targeting more than 1 creature at the spell's current level. For example, Magic Missiles and Scorching Ray aren't eligible, but Ray of Frost and Chromatic are. So... I'm thinking, isn't this would work with Magic Missile, Scorching Ray, Eldritch Blast at higher levels, and all of those as well, because you get an extra beam that can target an additional creature at a higher level. So you could cast a spell that targets a lot of people. I think this either needs to be better worded or just go back to the way it was / increase the price. But being able to cast 2 Hold Person, or being able to upcharge a Hold Person to capture more people for only 1 sorcery point is kind of insane. I guess let's move on to Dragon Sorcerer. I think we'll finish off the Sorcerer, and as much as I love the Warlock, I think that's what we'll start next stream up with. And we'll cover that and go from there for a while. So yeah, let's go Dragon Sorcery. Big notes. Dragon Speech now gives you Draconic Language, and gives you the Draconic Language. And while creatures of the Dragon type understand your speech, you don't necessarily understand them. What? Why not? Dragon Wings, once again allows you to sprout wings without relying on a spell. And Draconic Presence, it replaces Draconic Exhalation. The feature is now a bonus action and doesn't require concentration. So, Resilience. Your hit point maximum increases by 3 and increases by 1 every time you gain a sorcerer level. Parts of you covered are covered in dragon-like scales while you aren't wearing armor. Armor class equals 10 plus dexterity modifier plus charisma modifier. Well, that's different. It used to just increase by 1, and then your armor class used to be 13 plus dex modifier. Okay. Not looking at anything else. This is going to be the tankiest spellcaster. Like, pure spellcaster. Currently. With a d6. Because you're going to have con maxed. Charisma maxed, right? So that's a 15 AC without wearing armor or anything else. You're starting without any pluses in con is going to be at least 9. And then you gain an additional 1 every time you level up. So on average, that's a plus 5 every level. without any bonuses. So at level 2, you're going to have 14 HP, which is pretty good, along with an AC of, say, 14 to 15, right? Well, 14 probably. That's really not bad. And then if you invest into Con and Dex after maxing out Charisma, it's gonna be pretty dang tanky. Draconic speech. You speak, read, and write Draconic. In addition, your speech can be understood by all creatures of the dragon type. So why can't I understand Draconic? I don't know. It's weird. Elemental Infinity. Well, actually, Dragon Speech. What did Dragon Speech used to be? I think that just used to be part of Dragon's Ancestor. Oh, yeah. It kind of got nerfed because your Charisma checks got reduced. You used to get your proficiency bonus doubled with Charisma checks when relating to dragons. And now you don't, at least here. Dragon Wings. Innate magic now maximizes Dragon Wing. Oh, wait, sorry. Elemental Infinity. One of the damage types chosen associated with dragons choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison. You have resistance to that damage type, and when you cast a spell that deals damage of that type, you add your charisma modifier to 1 damage roll of that spell. That used to... No, it's still level 6 ability. No, wait. You used to get the resistance at level 1. Wait. Did you? Yeah. It looks like you used to get that at... Do you... No, maybe you didn't ever get a resistance. Oh, no. You just infinitely get the resistance now. And it used to be you had to spend a sorcery point to gain resistance to it for an hour, so that's a big buff. You still get the damage buff, so cool. Dragon Wings. Your innate magic now spends Dragon Wings on your back. As a bonus action, you can sprout these wings, gain a fly speed equal to your speed. The wings last until you dismiss them as a bonus action, or you have the incapacitated condition. The rings manifest, and you decide whether they're spectral or physical. If physical, you mustn't be wearing something that obstructs them. Yeah, cool. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. Kind of changes this a little bit, but not much. It's more or less the same. And then Draconic Presence. Channel the Dread Presence of Dragons. Bonus action, you spend 5 sorcery points to draw your power and exude an aura of awe or fear. Your choice, within 60 feet. For 1 minute, or until you're incapacitated, each creature of your choice that starts within this aura must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell DC, or be charmed if you chose awe, or frightened if you chose fear. Condition until the creature is outside of the area. Interesting enough, they no longer are immune to it for 24 hours if they do succeed. Which is interesting. Magic Sorcery, we're moving on. Moving quick. Magic Surge no longer requires DM's permission. Wild Magic Surge no longer requires DM permission. Oh. Cool. Tides of Chaos is now guaranteed to give you a roll on the Wild Magic Surge table. Okay. Bad Luck now costs 1 sorcery point instead of 2. And Magic Bombardment, formerly Spell Bombardment, now allows you to use a Wild Magic Surge effect that casts a spell or that replenishes your sorcery points. Wild Magic Surge, no more than once per turn, you can roll a d20 immediately after you cast a sorcery spell with a spell slot. If you roll a 20, roll on the Wild Magic Surge table to create a magical effect. See 2014 Player's Handbook for the table. No, they didn't update the table at all? They should have. If the magical effect is a spell, it is too wild to be affected by your meta magic, and if it normally requires concentration, it doesn't require concentration in this case, so it lasts for the full duration. Interesting. I was reading that, I was like trying to make sure I understood what I was saying. But yeah, that's the same. Tides of Chaos. You can manipulate the forces of change to gain advantage on 1d20 test. Once you do so, you must finish a long rest before you can use this feature again. Immediately after you cast a sorcery spell with a spell slot before you regain the use of the feature, you automatically roll in the wild magic table and regain the use of this feature. So you can use this, cast a spell, roll on the table, and then you can use this again to give yourself more or less advantage infinitely, if you're willing to risk the wild magic table, which might lead to some interesting things for sure. Bend luck. You have the ability to twist fates under your wild magic. Immediately after another creature you can see rolls a d20 for a d20 test, you can use your reaction and spend a sorcery point to roll 1d4 and apply the number rolled as a bonus or penalty, your choice, to the creature's roll. Is that dropped down to 1 instead of 2, right? Yeah, cool. Controlled Chaos. You gain a modicum of control of the wild magic. Whenever you roll on the wild magic surge table, you can roll twice and use either number. Yeah, I mean, it's the same. Wild Bombardment. Immediately after you cast a sorcery spell with a spell slot, you can create an effect of your choice from the wild magic search table, provided the spell effect casts a spell or restores all your expended sorcery points. You can't do so until you finish 1d4 long rests. Before the harmful energy of your spells, whenever you roll damage for a spell, roll the highest number possible on any of the dice, choose one of those dice to roll again, and add that roll to the damage. Choose this feature only once per turn. So I actually like this a lot more. However, there's some pretty nice stuff on it. Like the regain all sorcery points. Cool. Or you can cast Fly on a random creature. You can cast Mirror Image. And remember, these don't take concentration, right? So you can regain hit points. You can maximize the next damaging spell you cast for the next... Oh wait, no. That's the spells or regain sorcery points. Fog Cloud. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in here. But with that, we're gonna end this stream, and we're gonna start off with the Warlock, maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight. I don't know yet. So yeah, with that, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm talking like this is one of my YouTube videos. I'm streaming, not doing that. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Be that tonight or be that tomorrow. I'm probably gonna stream tonight, but I don't know what I'll stream. So yeah. With that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.